what would it take for Trey Lance to replace Jimmy Garoppolo this season? Like, Jimmy's playing fine. His quarterback rating is 102, which is good. His numbers are good. He's 2-1. It's not about Jimmy isn't playing well enough. I mean, he definitely is limited, but everyone has Trey's going to have limitations too with his accuracy and stuff like that. The question is, we all know, like, you're supposed to make this transition at some point. I think everyone assumes that Trey Lance is going to be the starter next season. So at what point do you just say, you know what, let's just embrace the future? I mean, obviously not if Jimmy wins the next 7 games, but what would it take to make the transition sooner?
I think the earliest you see it is after the Arizona game against Indianapolis, right? If they lose these next 2 weeks, that's kind of, at that point, I think you're really struggling to if you look at yourself after that week, you might be out of the division race at that point, even though it's early in the season. And so why not make that switch at that point, especially if you're 2-3 and the offense is as bad as they've been in the first half overall, their offense is still scoring. They're still the top
points a game or something like that.
Yeah, they're still like the eighth highest scoring team in the league, or ninth, right in that range.
That's a mirage though, because in this last game they averaged 4.6 yards per play, and the game before was 4.5. Like that's that would make Jeep Chris blush.
I know, and I understand that, and especially like in the last game, I think the hard part about the averages though, just like to kind of to say this is that you've got a lot of negatives and positives. Like that's like people who try to tell you that the 49ers run defense is good based off of the yards per carry. True. And then you go and you watch it, and the 49ers give up 10 carries of 5 or more yards in a game out of 16 or something like that. But the average yard per carry is only 4.
That's a good point, because there were a couple negatives in there. That's a good point.
Because there were a lot of there's a bunch of negative runs because they weren't running the ball very well. And stuff like that. No, but I'm with you. I think the offense is somewhat pedestrian, and there's definitely what you're saying there. There's 41 of those points came in the first game of the season.
Yeah, and 31 of those came in the first half of that game.
Sure. Yeah. So, there's definitely some issues. They put up 28 points, but I think if this continues, I'm not even
saying Jimmy's the issue. Like, his limitations kind of have a domino effect, but I would give him. I graded him as I gave him a B through the first 3 games. My dad was harder on him, gave him a C, but I think he's been fine the first 3 games of the season. It's not even his fault.
No, I think if you graded him, I think you guys are probably right between what you guys both graded him. I'd say probably a B minus, C plus in that range. He's played. He's not the reason that they lost on. He's not the reason that they lost on Sunday night, and he's not the reason that they've won some of these. They won on.
That's true.
And stuff.
That's true.
He's just Jimmy Garoppolo is who he is.
One way or another.
Not really. I mean, he's just a guy, and he's a flawed quarterback. I say
quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah. I say it probably too often, but he's a flawed quarterback, and he wins a lot, and he kind of keeps his team in the game. And, he just, when he plays, he usually, for the most part, especially when he's not hurt like he is now, he competes his rear end off.
Is there a quarterback from our childhood that was similar? Some quarterback who's really not spectacular, but just had a knack of winning for like 4 or 5 years. I can't. The whole Jimmy experience is very weird to me because you can't really argue with his results most of the time, and yet you can nitpick him to death. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd have to.
He's better than Dilfer was, right?
Yeah, he's better than. I would say he's better than Dilfer
was. Dilfer won for a while.
Because Dilfer only had I think he only had one good season where they won a lot. I think other than that they were. I don't know. He's winning quite a bit.
He's not Kurt Warner. He's not that good. He's not.
No.
I
would say no. He's not. Wait, Tony Romo. Tony Romo had to carry the team, so it's a little bit different.
He's not Tony Romo either. I don't know. Anyway, if anyone has a good 1990s comparison for him, that'd be interesting. But okay.
I used Jeff Garcia last year because I do see a lot of similarities in the fact that Garcia on that team, he had Terrell Owens kind of carried him a little bit, and he got better as the season went on. So maybe it's
Garcia
more of
was better than Garoppolo.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying.
I will die.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. He was. That's why Jimmy Garoppolo is Jimmy Garoppolo is never going to be even in the conversation for the Hall of Fame like Garcia is.
No.
So, no. I mean, I'm just trying to come up with somebody who won a bunch of games, but even Garcia wasn't even a 500 quarterback. So, I don't know. It's a tough one.
Jimmy Garoppolo is like if Drew Brees were really handsome and wasn't that obsessive about
that's a good one.
You know what I mean? It's like he has Drew Brees' skill set, but not his drive, obsession. And that's part. I think you need to have that maniacal drive to become a great quarterback. Those guys seem very strange, very weird. And I think Jimmy seems very down to earth and normal, which is what a lot of people like about him. And I think it's what I knock about him. And it's probably a strange thing to criticize someone. You're too normal. You need to be more obsessive about your job, like Drew Brees. But yeah,
Yeah, I think Brees.
Drew Brees, like, you know what? Should I look at the playbook or go to the club tonight? I'm not saying he goes to the club all the time. I don't know. I'm just saying I think he goes to the club more than Drew Brees does.
Yeah, that's like the 2008, 2000 through like 2012 version of Drew Brees, though, had a better deep ball than Garoppolo's ever had. If you think of Drew Brees as an older guy,
I can't even give him the Drew Brees. Yeah, I don't know. We need to go through these real quick, and then.
But let's just finish this off though. That Lance,
go ahead,
Lance, as far as Lance replacing, we started answering, then we got off on a tangent. But I think he replaces Garoppolo if once the season's lost because they've just lost too many games, or Garoppolo gets injured. I think those are the only two ways. Shanahan's shown that he'll stick with a quarterback even if they're losing, if he thinks the quarterback's making the right plays. He did. We saw him do that last year with Nick Mullins.
I really want to see Kyle do that. Look, I don't want to see the Niners go up in flames this year because they did that last year, and it's not that. I mean, it's exciting when the first explosion goes up, but then fans lose interest, and I'd rather them be good, honestly. Mm-hmm. But if they do, if this season if they're 2-3 and then 2-4, and Kyle won't make the switch, Niner fans are going to be pissed, and they're going to take it out on him, not on Jimmy, on Kyle. And I think we're starting to see that right now. Like everyone's like, you know what? Jimmy battled. Give Jimmy credit. Sure, Jimmy is who he is, and we know that. But like, Kyle, what's up, man? Like, where's your offense? Where's your decision? They're going to turn on you, so you can keep doing what you want to do. His answer to me that one time, that's what we want to do. Okay, keep doing what you want to do. You're going to have less support from your fan base if this goes that way. So I'm curious to see. Like we already kind of assume that he's buckled to the locker room's wishes. When are you going to buckle to the fan base's wishes, or will you be like, whatever? I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. I've gotten some chuckles over the last couple of days watching things that people are saying about Shanahan. It's like, man, I've been telling you guys this for years. Especially last year, and people kept telling me I was crazy, and it was everything else. But
real quick, Ted H on Twitter, who I don't know who Ted H is, but everyone knows Ted H on Twitter. I mean, if you say something about Jimmy Garoppolo, he'll get in that thread for days and argue it out. Good guy, though. Anyway, I wrote something like, Lance cannot possibly be worse than Jimmy based on some stat. And he wrote in and was like, well, he can, but he can also improve, and Jimmy's not. I say make the switch. I was like, one loss?
One loss.
And you're riding me about this thing, and one loss and you're out? Man, that's Niner fans are fickle. That's crazy. I didn't even see that.
It was fantastic.
I was like, wow. Harsh Patrick says, wasn't there a holding on defensive lineman in that second to last catch by Devontae Adams, Bosa being blindside? Why aren't the rest calling those? It's not a Niners loss without that. Thank you. I was waiting for that.
Yeah. I actually had somebody asked me that question. Somebody asked me that question earlier today too. Is about the chips, or is the NFL eventually going to make those illegal? I don't
because they're making Bosa look bad. You definitely should make that illegal. The Bosa rule. John O says, even if they bench mediocre Jimmy and plug Lance into KS system, will he use him like preseason? Try to make him a pocket passer? At what point do we blame Kyle Shanahan? But there was also the Raiders game where he used him as like the designated hander-offer.
Yeah.
There was that.
Well, yeah. I don't know how I'm. That's partly why I'm kind of wanting to see. I don't know how much this offense changes with him in there.
It should. I mean, think you would go downfield more, move the pocket more. And again, when I say move the pocket, you don't have to roll out a guy and cut the field in half. Just a half roll, and the way you can set up is a peel back block is what they call it. It could be a guard, a tackle, a tight end, someone else who basically sets up a new pocket in a different spot. Just move around. So you're basically Where's Waldo? You're whack-a-mole. You don't want to be in the same spot every time. You're whack-a-mole. And you already, that's what they did on the Sherfield throw. It was a half roll to the right with Dwelly peeling back, reset, roll to the left, throw back to the right. Mm-hmm. He can do this. I'd like to see that. Yes.
Yeah, and we saw him do a play action on the first touchdown throw that he had in Detroit, and then Sunday night we saw him do a full out on rollout to his right and hit
So, yeah.
Ayuk in the hands and dropped it.
Real quick before we move on, what the hell was that in the final preseason game? What was that? Why did they do what they did with Trey Lance? Just to troll? Was that trolling? Why
I
would
think
they
it
waste
was
their time trolling people in a preseason game?
no. I think what it was is we've seen them do that now a little bit, right? They overdid it in that game.
Okay.
I think it was just a matter of being in a game situation, and we want to throw you guys in and out just to see how just to get you used to being going in and out. This doesn't matter.
Oh, it could have been an experiment. Let's see how it feels. And maybe they like. So, what'd you think? What'd you think? I didn't like it. I didn't like it either. Okay, good to know.
Yeah. There could have been things like that. Yeah, I think that they were. I think more than anything, they were trying to get a feel for just that whole the process.
Yeah.
The mechanics of it, yeah, more than anything else. Because Shanahan said at halftime of that game when the reporter asked him if that's something we're going to see going forward, he said it right there that no, that's not going to happen during the regular season.
True. So why? Anyway, Kyle, you are doing a great job of trolling the entire world. You've been doing it since I want to say February. Now I think you can switch your focus to coaching.
Oh yeah,
You got one game. Dude, you should have won that game, though. That's the thing about it. The Niners are 2-1, and they have problems. They should be 3-0. Like if they take 9 seconds off the play clock before the touchdown to use check, or remember what they used to do? They used to be more tactical on special teams. They would not just kick the ball into the end zone. If they wanted you to waste time, they would have like a low line drive kick that hit the ground and force someone to pick it up. You don't see that anymore. And then D'Amico Ryan's calling zone on the first play. I don't understand that. But yeah, they should have won this game. They should have won this freaking game. Seeing your face in the press box, watching them lose it was priceless because you couldn't freaking believe it. You were standing there like you were the coach. Like, how did I let this happen? No, Jack, it wasn't you. I don't know how they let that happen, but it was that feeling like, wow, that's a tough one. That's a tough loss.
Yeah, no, I was
that way didn't lose by 50, didn't lose by 20.
Yeah, no, you said that to me, and I remember, and I was just thinking, like,
standing there with your hands in your pockets, watching the field, and no one was on it. I was like, man.
I was trying to get my thoughts around the game. I was replaying the game in my head with certain pieces of what had happened.
Anyway, I wasn't saying you were looking at it like a fan because you obviously weren't. It just reminded me like that's a bad loss. Like, whoa, that happened fast. It happened real fast, and now it's over. And wow, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, how did this happen? The whole game. When you go back and replay that whole game, yeah. I look at I look at the game differently, and that. So
yeah, John says teams are there. Teams use their stars. Kyle Shanahan use our stars, bro. Well, at least he got Ayuk on return and punts. I will forever take.
Yes, that is one of the positives for sure.
11 yards of return. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
keep it up, Brandon. Making a guy miss every time. Loving it.
Yes. I thought he was going to take that one for more than he did.
Is Miami willing to take Jimmy for a corner? I don't think so.
Take Jimmy for a corner?
How much better than Jacoby Brissett is Jimmy really? He's better.
He's better.
You got to pay for that. You got to pay for that upgrade. You got to pay for that upgrade.
They wouldn't want to do that because Jimmy's better than Tua at what Tua does.
True. That is true. That would create the situation
that they're at now.
Yeah. Screen is. Oh, thanks. If Dantzler for real wants a trade, please, John, please. I think they try. No, they're not. I don't think they're going to trade any serious. I think what they're trying to do is get picks back. I think that's their focus at this point. I could be wrong. Kevin Jones is now a new member. Wow.
Nice.
Kevin Jones? Dang. Blue Wire Kevin Jones or
just some other Kevin Jones?
Regular Kevin Jones. No, I'm just kidding. Jesus says Kyle needs to learn how to adapt when the running game is not working. Put in Trey Lance and watch the defenses tremble and be confused. That's what I've been saying the last 2 weeks. Okay, your running game isn't working. Why don't you do what you did in the Raiders game where you just brought in Lance and let him hand off? Like, you've already done it once. I know you've thought about it. That's exactly when I would do it. Okay, like I don't want to use Lance, but my running game isn't working. I mean, he was a decoy on a sneak. He's a decoy on a handoff. Why not?
Yeah, that decoy on the sneak that was pretty sweet too. You got to just stand there and do nothing.
That was great. He
Uh-huh.
really executed well on that play.
He did.
Kevin Jones says, with the Seahawks looking less than stellar, what are the chances the Niners will beat them?
Yeah, we talked about
The
this one.
3-point favorites.
Yeah, 50-50, I think.
It's a very even matchup. Both teams have major issues on defense. I just wonder if if this is an offense game, do the Niners have enough offense to keep pace with Hall of Fame quarterbacks and all-pro wide receivers? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you have an initial feeling on how this game's going to go? Because
I don't really right now. I think it's going to be a lot tougher game than most 49er fans think, just because they've seen the records.
Chewy says Jimmy equals Trent Green. That's
a good one.
Trent did have some years where he would win.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Kansas City that he went to and had some good years. Him and Dick Vermeil. I could be wrong.
Yeah. No, he did. He did.
Call. And he was a long time backup for a while. Trent Green, Chewy, my guy. Hey guys,
I've been agreeing with him too much lately.
Yeah, I like Chewy. Have you guys watched the all 22 of Trey Sermon's carries? It'll be interesting to see a detailed breakdown of his first start. But when we get our hands on it, I've already put in the request to my plug. We'll see what happens. We'll be back with that.